Hello. All right, y'all. Happy May Day to y'all. So I'm feeling like being well, a little bit of a hero here. And I have a question for y'all. Do y'all have a narcissist that needs to learn something about karma? Here's what narcissistic people do. Narcissistic people are constantly trying to create a situation for people. They are constantly, narcissistic people are constantly trying to berate, impede, create obstacles for. They're constantly trying to bring unfair judgment against people. Narcissistic people are constantly trying to lie on people. Narcissistic people are constantly spreading smear campaigns about people. Narcissistic people are constantly lying on people. Narcissistic people are, in fact, trying to destiny swap with other people constantly, like every day. These people are constantly on this daily struggle of not knowing their identity, not finding their identity. Okay. And they create a lot of issues. And see, here's what I realized that narcissistic people, they the work that we do against them should be cheap. It should not be expensive, right? So I feel that you want to deal with the narcissist very quickly when you realize that a person or a group of people is narcissistic, which a group of people can be a family, it can be family members. Okay. One thing I want to tell y'all, if you are in the early beginning stages of dealing with a narcissist, you need to cut it off at the head, is what you need to do. You do not need to spend years and years ignoring a narcissistic person. The situation needs to be dealt with very quickly. Okay. So, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and get a jar prepared for them, is what we need to do. Okay. Because I feel like this, I feel like there's so much other things that y'all should be, if you are investing in spiritual work, you should be able to use your spiritual dollars, the money that you have budgeted for your spiritual work. I feel that that should be spent on something better for you. Right now, what I want to do is I want to compile a list of narcissistic people. Okay. And of course, I'm going to be checking it. I'm going to definitely check it. I'm going to definitely be able to see it in my readings if the person is narcissistic. Okay. So I'll be checking it twice before I actually put these people on a list and put them in my jar. I have had it up to here with narcissistic people. It is time for them to learn the lesson, and they will learn. Trust me, they will. Trust me, I have realized that narcissistic people, they think, and this is truly the way that their mind works. The things that they do and say to you that is either rude, dehumanizing, whatever it is that they're doing, when you respond to them like a normal human being would respond, the narcissist never accepts what they did to get that response. Narcissistic people will do the most outlandish stuff to people, and then they will go and they will play dumb. They will act like they don't know exactly what it is that they did. And it's a constant cycle with them. The next thing you know, narcissistic people are the ones that are doing smear campaigns against people, trying to ruin people's reputation. I would say 99% of the people that are doing that are narcissistic. The rest of it is just normal human error. Narcissistic people are constantly trying to ruin people socially, trying to ruin people romantically, trying to ruin people financially, and they need to be dealt with. And I think that they should be dealt with every full moon and every new moon. So, what I am going to do is I am going to make sure that I stay vigilant against narcissistic people. Because basically, what they have done is they have taken over. Narcissistic people have taken over. And y'all got to understand that what is at the root of a narcissist is a demon. It's spirits. It's bad spirits. And I believe, honestly, I believe narcissistic people are definitely being controlled by some kind of inhuman source. I don't believe it's goetic demons. I don't believe that. I believe that whatever it is, it's almost alien like. I believe that these people are in contact and under mind control of the alien, some kind of life force that we don't really understand. So I am doing a jar to deal with narcissistic people. They constantly need to face what they do to people. There does not need to be any more allowing of narcissistic people to do the things that they are doing. So, number one, if you're dealing with a narcissistic person, schedule a reading with me. Okay. Number two, we are compiling them in a group. We are going to put them in a big ass jar that I am going to hand make to deal with these people. Not only will there be weekly work done, that starts and commences on Wednesday. Have y'all noticed the schedule and the cycle, the weekly cycle that narcs are on? If you notice, if you're a non narc, basically on Wednesday, which is hump day, the way I see normal people on a Wednesday compared to a narc is that normal people are kind of looking forward to the weekend, kind of looking forward to relaxing, just kind of looking forward to life. Narcissistic people are plotting and planning other people's demise. So every Wednesday, these people go into motion, if you want to call them people. Because I'm starting to really believe that a lot of them don't even, they're not even human anymore. This is how bad it's gotten. And as you get closer to the weekend, these people are just causing so many issues until we're going to build and build and build this jar. And it will be compiled with certain things and workings and symbols. As we build the jar against the narcissist, the ingredients are going to get stronger. Okay. So every week it will be boosted. Every week it will be boosted. And then, especially at the full and the new moon. So just contact me and I can get you in, get your narcissist in. Narcissistic people need to be dealt with. These are people that eventually want you to see yourself as a person that doesn't matter. Only they matter. You don't matter at all. In fact, narcissistic people, they really, what their dream in life is for everybody to sort of not matter to the world, and for them, for it to be all about them. And the problem is that they use other people. They don't know how to just leave people alone. They use other people for this purpose. And what I want to do is whatever that narcissistic person is doing. I want to completely ruin and throw off their schedule. They need to be thrown off of their evil, diabolical schedule. Period. All you got to do is give me that person's name. I don't even have to see their picture. Spirit knows who they are. And we're going to get it popping for them. We are going to get it going for work against the narcissist. And in that way, we don't have to worry about it anymore, because basically what we want to do, I'm going to tell you the reason why, and it will be involving 1111 work. I'm going to tell you the reason why 1111 is so powerful. The reason why 1111 is so powerful is because 1111 breaks cycles, okay? And that energy is very powerful right now on May Day. It is very powerful of breaking cycles of the narcs. They are getting worse and worse. And it's time for them to learn the lesson. And I'm not talking about 5 years from now, 2 years from now, a month from now. I'm talking about instant. I'm talking about instant lessons. Instant. I'm ready to go to war with the narcs. For real, go to war. I want them all gathered together. I want them all gathered together, especially if you're being gang stalked, especially when the gang stalking is being predicated by a family member. Okay. Now, I'm not going to hurt them. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything to harm them. So if you guys need to get with me about my demonic protection from death, you guys definitely can. If you have someone that is a threat to your life, someone actually threatening your life, someone threatening violence, someone that has been known and prone to violence, that's different. Okay. And the way my demonic protection from death works is whatever plot or plan that person has of your demise, whatever it is, whether or not it's death magic, whether or not it's murder for hire, basically everything that that person is plotting and planning to do to you is for sure going to happen to them. Okay. And there's a lifetime guarantee of protection on that. Okay. For you and your loved ones. This is basically the little stupid games that the narcissists play, the clowning that they do, the weirdness. This is to teach them an instant lesson and to eventually stop them from doing what they are doing. Then it's also to ward off, it's a warding jar as well, to ward or off the narcissist demon. Because that is a demon. I hope y'all know that that narcissists do worship a demon of narcissism. Okay. And it's not Satan. It's not Satan and it's not Lucifer. It has nothing to do with Satan or Lucifer. It's something that is inexplicable. Okay. Narcissistic people, they whatever it is that they serve, it, it's of unknown origin. Okay. The prevalence of narcissistic attack has increased dramatically. Many of them do have psychic gifts. So definitely their whoever it is that's the narc, their psychic gifts will be binded from doing harm to you, because I'm tired of them running amok. They have been running amok, and it's time to deal with the narcissist. Now, some people would argue and say, well, you can't do work on narcissists. You can't necessarily do love work on narcissistic people. No, you can't. But you can do other work. You can defend yourself, and you can definitely do karmic work on them. Narcissistic people often do not want to believe in karma, but that doesn't protect them from it. Not believing in karma, narcs, does not protect you from it. Okay. So if you got a narc in your life, contact me, and I'm doing it's and it's not expensive either. Because when you guys contact me to do spiritual work, I want you guys to spend your money, the money that you have budgeted for your spiritual work. I want you to spend it on things that are important. Narcissistic people, they shouldn't we shouldn't have to be paying a bunch of money. The reason why you end up paying a bunch of money because you're dealing with narcissistic people is because you've let it go for years and years and years, and you didn't nip it in the bud in the beginning. Okay, especially if you're within your first 6 months, year, or 2 years of dealing with narcissists. Right now, I see a lot of you. What I see is an ex that is a narc that just recently became an ex within the past 6 months to a year. The narcissist already is in a relationship with someone else. Go figure. They're in a relationship with someone else, but yet they are still preying on you. They're still attacking you. They're still doing things to you. So, what we are going to do is we're going to get a jar together. And like I said, I don't want to hurt these people. I'm not going to hurt these people. Okay. Not trying to hurt them. I'm not saying that they're going to die. I'm not saying that they're going to get sick. I'm not saying anything like that. But what we're doing is protection and defense, and then they have to learn the lesson. When somebody knows and understands the consequences to their action. Now, what I will tell you is that the only thing that will happen, because narcissistic people have God complexes, okay? What they want to do is they want to come up with some stupid expectation of other people, which makes no sense because people have to be bothered with this crap. Basically, they come up with some kind of crud, and they try to come at you as if they are going to, hey sis, is that April? Okay, April. I thought I saw something else. Hey, April. What they do is they try to come up with some kind of crud against you because they've got some weird standard that they done set, and they done decided to target you with that weird, like random, complex, complicated mind fuckery of their mind. So basically, what's going to happen with this jar is that they are going to get the karma, the negative karma that they have tried to create for you. Now, this is not a reversal. It's more so a warning. So if a narc has went to a narcissistic witch or a narcissistic warlock to get work done on you, then we have to talk about getting it reversed. But if everything is going fine, I'm going to tell you something. Don't wait until something happens. Nip it in the bud now. And then I'll also put you on my list of protected ones. Yes, I do. Y'all wouldn't believe it. I do have a list of protected ones. Okay, and it's pages and pages of a list that I have that protects you against all sorts of things. Okay. And so of course, obviously you'll get on that list. But the one thing that I can tell you is that we are doing a jar for the narcs, and they will get back. That way, we're trying to prevent them from tearing you down. Because what happens is that a lot of you guys right now are doing great. However, you are being attacked by narcs. I saw it during my money readings. That's why they wanted, that's why the narcissistic people, not just on the outside, but on the inside of YouTube, for some reason, I kind of think that there's somebody that works at YouTube that kind of messes with my views or whatever. They go in every once in a while and work for YouTube until they get fired. Okay, because they do have like this gang stalking network that they use, and they go and they get various jobs at various agencies and companies so that they can gain access to people's records, which is pretty disgusting. I cannot stand these people. Okay. But what I could see heavily and big time was a lot of y'all winning, a lot of us winning, but the narcs hating big time. Okay. They gonna be on a whole hate campaign, especially when we come across first of all, Pluto is gonna go into retrograde on May the 4th, and then Saturn is going into retrograde in July. This is when shit is gonna hit the fan. And I want to compile this jar beforehand. Okay. And now what I put in my jars, a lot of people don't understand it, but it's so I may or I may not explain to you guys the way that the jar works or whatever. I'm not real sure because narcissistic people, every single spell, every single thing that I have shown on this channel, which is why I'm deviating away from that. I don't like to show my spell work. I don't like to show it because surely narcissistic people are trying to steal it, twist it, and use it for their evil agenda. Okay. So I don't like that. That's why I don't show very many spells anymore on this channel anymore. Okay. Like I may sporadically come on here and show something, but I don't show it because they are constantly like my meditation videos. They are constantly trying to take our meditations and our knowledge and use it for evil, for some kind of evil purpose. And I've noticed that they do that immediately. Immediately. They're constantly over here downloading my videos. They're constantly over here trying to steal. So this is the reason why you haven't seen me do that in a while. Because I don't want to help them at all. I don't. They are diabolical, and that's one of the reasons why they even became interested in witchcraft, was to do evil to people, just to do evil, not for healing purposes, not for anything like that, just to be evil towards people. Okay, towards innocent people is the reason why they even broke into witchcraft, right? So I am an authentic witch. I don't want them using my stuff and my knowledge, just like the planetary stuff. Okay. Now I've noticed a lot of them, a lot of narcs trying to deal with planetary stuff. I'm glad that they're doing that because those gods are going to teach them a lesson. Because when you're dealing with the planet, you're dealing with the gods. Okay. So they can't really they can't really take advantage of that. The gods see what they doing. Okay. They do. They see what they doing. And they not going to be able to use the universe for their evil. Okay. But I may or may not explain to you guys how it works. But we got to come up with some kind of defense against them because they are on they're actually on the rampage right now. And basically what they want to do is they want to control you. That's what narcissistic people want. They want to control you. They want to control how people see you. They want to control people's minds. Okay. So a lot of the things that they're doing is going to be foiled. We're going to foil all of their plans and plots. Okay, this has been ordained. I've been ordained by the universe and the gods to do this because basically what they are doing is they are not just throwing off the balance for people, they are throwing off the balance of the earth everywhere. We have allowed narcissistic people to go too far with this free will thing. We have allowed them to go too far, and we have allowed them to get away with too much stuff. Okay. Now, what I'm thinking right now is that we can do castings. Maybe $50 at the full moon, $50 at the new moon is maybe the way we can do it. If you have a problem with narcissists, even if you have a problem with a group of narcissists, we can put them all in the jar every last one of them and get it popping so that they can stop what they're doing and rethink their actions and stop doing what they're doing to you, because trust me, it gets worse. Okay. Trust me, it gets worse. These people are literally very predatorial. They will hunt you. For some reason they just don't stop. That's why I said narcissistic people have gotten worse, to the point where they will just keep hunting. They will keep hunting. They will keep hunting. They just cannot stop attacking other people. Okay? So we're going to be warding off, we're going to be sending back. Literally, that's what ward means. So it'll be a warding jar, but it's also going to be a karma jar. So it'll be like a karmic warding jar to just whatever it is, whatever negativity that they are sending. Okay. And it's not going to be like my warding bowls and stuff, it'll be preserved. Okay, so it's going to be in a large canning jar. It'll be preserved to where, um, you know how I do my bowls, my warding bowls and stuff. It's going to be preserved. Okay, so it'll have plenty of alcohol in it, plenty of certain herbs and stuff, but then other stuff is what I'm just going to pretty much go by spirit as far as how I'm going to do the jar, because again, I've got all of my herbs are with me. Okay, I've got plenty of stones, and we got to do something about these people because they have been running amok for far too long. Okay, so what you guys can do is, I would say at minimum schedule a 30-minute reading with me. And if you have a, now I will tell you this, dealing with a narcissist doesn't necessarily mean that you're dealing with someone that is obsessive. Okay, now if you're dealing with an obsessed narcissistic person, that may require more work that you need to get done. Okay. However, you can always do that later. Okay. You can always do that at a later time. It's good to go ahead, because I want to compile them in one jar, is what I want to do. Okay. Just have them all there, their names put in the jar. Okay. Um, if you are dealing with a special situation to where you have an entanglement with a narcissist, you may want to do some binding work on that person. That may be separate, but at the bare minimum, you're able to do this jar. Okay, so make sure y'all get with me, because today, it is something about tomorrow, the 2nd of May, because they seem to be like, the way I see narcissistic people is they're empty seaters, basically. And their bodies, they're basically just a open vessel for this evil to come through. And yeah, I'm not dehumanizing them at all. I'm not trying to say that we should hurt them. I know that a lot of you guys that have been dealing with narcs, you do want to hurt them. You do want to whoop their ass. You do want to do things to them. But I do believe that it's no different from, when a criminal goes to prison, and you know how, like, we don't want to just dehumanize them, because there's always a chance that they could, all of a sudden become better people. So I'm not saying that we're going to do something drastic to them. What we want to do is make sure that they don't do any harm. What I'm sensing is that we need to get it going prior to May the 2nd. Okay, is what I would do, because when Pluto goes into retrograde, I believe that certain things start to intensify themselves. So Pluto will be in retrograde on May the 4th. Okay. And so we want to get things going prior to that, to where, because trust and believe that what narcissistic people do, and it's weird, what they do is they literally sit around and they plot. and they plan and they plot. They have meetings about their plotting and their planning. They have these group meetings on how they can tear people down. Narcissistic people, the one thing I can tell you is that dealing with them is miserable. It's like when you think about Kathy Bates in that movie Misery, literally they are miserable. They only know how to pretend to be happy, to keep up appearances. But when they are with each other and they are plotting and planning, they are plotting and planning the destruction of people's happiness, peace, and joy. If you are a person that is capable of love and happiness and peace and joy, your babies, your unborn babies, your children, they hate you. They do. They are experiencing so much hate and they cannot help it. And y'all need protection from that hate. Okay. So it'll be protection from the evil eye, from their evil eye, from all of that stuff. That way you guys can more so don't now if you're several years into it and you're just now figuring out that you need spiritual work, you may have like this whole breakdown that's happening of your life. Okay, you may have that going on. So your issues may require a lot more focused work. However, many of you guys that are just starting off dealing with them because they're constantly finding new people, constantly. The people that they begin targeting typically start having some kind of calamities happening in their life. Okay, they do. So, and they are doing spell work as well. Okay, they do have dark practitioners that they contact so that they can get your name put on a list to derail your life. I am on the opposite side of that. I am a person that wants to make sure and create and preserve happiness, peace, and joy and love. Okay. So I'm on the other side of that spectrum. They are on the side of evil. I'm on the side of good. Okay. So, make sure that y'all get at me because today's Thursday. I noticed that yesterday we broke a lot of their cycles that they typically are doing on Wednesday. They're always up to no good on Wednesdays. Always up to no good. Okay. And I don't care who they are. I don't care what type of narc that you're dealing with, what kind of economic background they come from or social background. They're all the same. We're dealing with the same thing. And basically, whatever that narcissistic demon is, it's basically dealing with a network. It's like a network, right? So it knows who it can use. The narc demon knows who it can use. And this is how narcissists are born. This is how they're bred. This is how they come about and they end up doing stupid crazy stuff to you. Okay. So basically, a lot of the lies that they tell, a lot of the rumors that they tell, a lot of that crap that they do, basically they're going to have to end up dealing with and living within the world that they are trying to create for you. Is basically what they need to do. So that's what I can promise you with that jar. That way, and then that way you guys can invest in your cleanses. Eh, a person who can barely afford but needs spiritual work, you should not have to make a choice between spiritual defense and cleanses and healings, right? So basically, just like there are some people out there that are living paycheck to paycheck, right? And a lot of you guys that sacrifice your money, um, for spiritual services. That's why I appreciate y'all because there's a lot of people out there. They are literally having to choose between um, paying their rent, and buying food. And that's a fact of how hard it is out here in this world. So when it comes to spiritual work, you still need your spiritual work. You still need it, right? But you shouldn't have to make a choice between, should I do defense work, um or should I take care of myself, right? So your defense against the enemy should be very cheap. It shouldn't be expensive. Okay? That way you can say, "Hey, okay, I can afford a cleanse," because you're going to need one, because they done set up there and dug up they done dug up and conjured up a bunch of negativity against you. Trust me, they have. And it's absolutely disgusting what they've done. And we don't agree with it over here. We want you to be happy. We want y'all to not end up possessed by these people, because there's been a lot of people who they have placed under possession, and they just create misery. They do. They just create misery. Okay, so it's basically gonna be a naughty list. Yeah, it is. And trust me, they not gonna have no Yuletide Carol this year, because we tired of it. And I haven't even really celebrated Christmas or Yule the past 3 years, because the energy has just been so jacked up because of them. I can't stand them. They sit up there and they have made Yule about materialistic, which is nothing wrong with having money. I salute money. I have no problem with money. We all plan on having more of it, okay, this year, and doing better than we did the year before. Those of us that were attacked by the narcs, our jobs were attacked, our well-being was attacked, and our businesses was attacked by narcissists. Okay. And so, and they've been in a group. We don't need a group. To me, they're very weak. I got my spirits. They are constantly in a damn group. Y'all notice that they in a group, because and really what is empowering them is that narc demon. So, we dealing with that. Trust me, we dealing with that. We already got the gods that are assisting us with that. But what y'all got to understand is that there's a difference between the astral, the etheric, and the earthly realm. So if your spiritualist is not been making the distinction between that, that is the reason why the work that you have been doing has not been helping you on the earthly realm, because your spiritual work is supposed to connect to your earthly presence. Okay. So that's been something that people have not been able to make the connection with. And it's something that many of us witches, we understand it. Okay. So it's not just about the astral. It's not, and then people have been separating your spiritual stuff from the earthly. Everything that is affecting you spiritually affects your earthly realm. It's automatically like that. And a lot of people forget about that. So they'll say, well, I really don't have time for this spiritual stuff. And I've got enough problems. I've got problems to deal with. And it's like, you do realize that your problems are being created out of what is happening spiritually. Okay. So y'all can get at me. This is a safe place for you to go to, regardless to what that, because they do try to send things out to y'all consciously, and we want to make sure that we reduce their numbers, because in a few years they'll have everybody miserable, sick, and half dead, and we don't want to deal with that. We don't. I've got 20 something year old kids with health problems. They have been doing the most. I can't even talk about the crap that they've been doing. And by the way, Hecate is gatekeeping. So that's why a lot of them went to religion, because they want to go. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of narcissistic people went back to religion to continue their evil plot against people. And they don't read out of the Bible. Those types don't read good things out of the Bible for other people, only for themselves. And they read a lot of destruction into the world, and they're going to start getting in trouble for that. They think it's cute. Every single day, a lot of my fellow witches and shamans are having to fight off this desolation that they keep conjuring onto this world. And something is being done about that right now. Something's being done about that right now. Okay. So a lot of people will say, well, the government, they trying to rule out the middle class and they trying to rule out. No, people is doing it. Society is doing it. What richer people are doing, richer people is trying to protect their best interests from the poor people. And I don't blame them. And I don't blame them, because a lot of people that are poor and middle class, they are missing the ball. They are, by allowing a lot of this stuff to go on. So you want to help yourself for real? You need to deal with what's going on spiritually, because the desolation and those bad energies that narcissistic people, in particular when it comes to religious people, some of these religious people conjuring bad stuff on the earth every day, praying for basically the end of the world. They do it for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of this stuff that they are conjuring, richer people want to protect themselves from it. They don't want to go through it. And they don't get affected by it. Why? Because they have so much money that they don't have to worry about it. We, the little people, and I'm with y'all. I've never wanted to, we're gonna grow together. Okay. I've never wanted to be above people. That's not what I am. Okay. We, the little people, need to stand up. Okay. And then maybe we will become rich one day if that's what you want. But people, a lot of people don't know what it takes to get there. But that's what's happening, is that the little people are not paying attention to what's going on spiritually. Okay. All right, y'all. I know that when I speak about religion, it can be very triggering to people. There's both good and evil in the Bible, and that's why we need to shut these narcissists down, because they keep conjuring bad things out of the Bible for the stupidest, pettiest reasons. And we need to bind them from being, we not bind them, but more so come up with a powerful agent against them. Binding somebody takes a little bit more work. Okay. Basically, what we're going to be doing is warding their energy off. Okay, is what we're going to be doing. All right, so get with me about that. And I've got time on my schedule tonight for y'all to come in, and it's not expensive. Don't worry, it's very non-expensive, because we don't want to, and we don't have to invest too much money in those types of people. We need to have something that is set up so that we can say, oh, okay, this person's a problem. I have to confirm that they are narcissistic though. And as long as my spirits give me the green light on it, then their name will get added to my jar. Okay. To my list, to my naughty list. Okay. All right, y'all. I will see y'all soon. Blessings to y'all. And readings to support this is coming up. Okay, if you guys need any convincing, I will be doing some readings to find out, because I'm sick and tired of, all I see is these people every single day plotting against other people. And I'm sick of it. All day, every day, they just plotting against other people. Okay, guys. Love you. Bye.